This conference will now be recorded.
All right. In the absence of our chairperson, Matt Rockney, I've been asked to run the meeting today. So my name's Kim Jensen, and I'll call the meeting to order. First item is to adopt or amend the agenda, if there's any additions.
We do have an addition, Kim, 4B, it's highlighted there. The original one, I did not add the amendment we did for sheds, which is brought to me by Tom. And I've added it in your new packet there on page 2, which is awkward. It's highlighted for the greater than 128 square feet in area. So that's the only change we have.
What are you talking about?
128. Because 120. That's what it says in the amendment. Okay. I'll look at it again.
Any other additions?
Nope.
Or amendments? Call for a motion to accept the agenda as revised.
I make a motion to accept the agenda.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Carries. Second order of business is to review the minutes from the June 11th regular meeting. There is in your packet. Any comments or questions on the minutes? If not, I'll call for a motion.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right. Next order of business. Oh, we're early by 3 minutes, so I need to wait till 5:35.
Could start the staff report.
Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, Kurt.
North Sunboro Sanitary Sewer District will be purchasing 44.56 acres of land to build a new wastewater treatment facility. The facility will serve the cities of Goodhue, Pine Island, Wanamingo, and Zumbrota. In order to facilitate purchase and project construction, this land will be annexed and then platted within the city of Zumbrota. The Planning and Zoning Commission previously set a public hearing date of July 9th to hear comments. Attached are the preliminary and final plats, supporting exhibits, and engineering review letter. After the public hearing, the commission will be asked to make recommendation on the plats for the city council. Annexation, public hearing, and consideration of the preliminary and final plat will occur on July 18th city council meeting. And Mr. Engerman from WHKS, go right ahead.
All right, so thanks, Kurt. Thanks, Kim. So my name is Bill Angerman. I'm the city engineer. So I'm in a dual role tonight. So I'm representing the city of Zumbrota as a city engineer, but Zumbrota is also part of the North Sunboro Sanitary Sewer District. So the staff members from Zumbrota also represent the district. With me tonight is Glenn Gustafson. Glenn is the project manager for the North Sunboro Sanitary Sewer District. So as Kurt mentioned, tonight's our public hearing. We have two processes that are occurring simultaneously right now, and that is we have the annexation process. So we are annexing the wet property into the city of Zumbrota. We also have the platting process. So tonight we're here to deal with the platting process. So for your consideration is the preliminary and final plat. And then after we're done talking, members of the public will have a chance to speak. But this is a little atypical. It's not very often that the city is part of platting property and annexing property of their own, to themselves. That is what is occurring here. But this is the first step in many. So as Kurt mentioned, we'll have an annexation public hearing. If the Planning and Zoning Commission moves this forward to them, the council will then approve a plat. At that point, then we will finalize a purchase agreement with the state of Minnesota. So the purchase of this land is being funded by the state, ultimately as part of a funding package to the sanitary district. In addition to that, our design process to we're actually building is about another 2 years. So this project will be coming back to the city council for approval of the actual project itself. So when I say approval, I mean things like the road that goes to the site, the stormwater ponds, things of that nature. So this is a unique project in that the city is in essence reviewing themselves. So, but it is our duty and obligation though, as a city though, that we must follow our rules. So that is why we're here tonight. Also, we're here tonight to get input from the public and answer any questions that either the public may have or the commission may have. So with that, I will pause and turn it back over to our chair.
Thanks, Bill. All right, it is 5:35, so I will open the public hearing on the North Sunbro Sanitary Sewer District plat. So this is your time to ask any questions if you have questions from the public regarding that, or if Bill wants to add any additional information.
Only thing I would point out, we do have a representative from Zumbrota Township here tonight with us. So I always appreciate seeing our townships attend our meetings as well. So thank you for attending.
One question I had is, how is the Zumbrota Township doing with this? Are they on board with it or problems? We realize the scope of this project and it has to happen. So we don't have an opinion either way. We're not opposed to, we're not rah-rah in favor, we're just letting the process happen. Flint and Stair.
So obviously, as a city of Zumbrota, we want to make sure we're cooperating with the townships, but the approval authority rests solely with the city of Zumbrota. Though we do want, obviously, that doesn't mean we don't want council input. So we have Brian Grudem and I did attend a township meeting. We also attended Pine Island Township as well because the piping. So, we have Goodhue, they'll be following the highway here, but Pine Island, the pipe that'll connect Pine Island to Zumbrota will go through Pine Island Township. The pipe from Wanamingo will stay all within the highway right away, but obviously the plant itself is currently located in Zumbrota Township, but next week in theory it'll all be within the city.
The area being annexed, does it include that whole parcel of Wentz or just what's drawn in?
It is the whole parcel. So it'll be the whole parcel, and there will be outlots that will remain. So there'll be, per the plat, there's one lot. There's really only one lot. The other are outlots, which means that if those are further developed, they will have to come back and be replatted. That would be standard for land that's not going to be, occupied permanently. We're not building anything currently. Correct. Yep. And what'll most likely happen is someday that'll become a subdivision that'll be built upon by either the Wentz or a future developer.
The third question I had was the trail that goes along there, the River Line. What's the status of that as far as this project?
They're not related, but they're related, meaning we will have to cross that land. But there's no plans to do anything with the trail at this point.
As far as annexation or
Correct.
replatting or anything.
That's correct. Yep. But it does present an opportunity for the city council, in the future to potentially build a trail or do something with that.
Mhm.
How many acres is this thing gonna take up? Jane Miller.
And just how many acres is this going to use up? The whole thing or?
It'll be 40. So the plant itself will be 44 acres, of which most of that will be open space. The actual physical plant will be in the 10 to 15 acres within that. We want to make sure we have a lot of buffer area. Ultimately, the full annexation, Kurt's going to have to help me out, I think was it 70,
Right.
77 acres. So the other 30 acres will be, the Wentz will still own.
So this area below the trail is what we're looking at for fire. I believe to say above the trail.
Mr. Wenton was going to do something else with that land.
There are some exhibits in your packet that better depict that.
Yeah, it's Jeff Bramer. I was just kind of curious, is there any, just kind of curious where the outline is of what was actually purchased by the city? Is there a layout of that? Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so those of you that have color maps, it's the pink area.
Okay.
Yep, so the pink, you have a color one, Kurt? Yeah, so if yours is color, it's up the pink area.
There's a slough there, like, right next to those townhouses. Is that gonna be? The way it works is-
Yeah, there's no slough, I'm sorry.
Tens up here, right?
Flew down here.
Yeah.
Mary Rowe, just wondering, there were these little strips along the trail. We own this property right here. It comes right up to our edge there. I'm just wondering what they're planning there.
Kim, so that is, so we have to connect the existing plant to the new plant. So that's to give us a path to install a pipe underground. That's what that's for. By the way, that's an option. This facility hasn't been designed yet, so it's giving us an avenue to do that.
Yeah, she's looking at those.
Yeah, correct.
But it shouldn't interfere with the trail.
No, we would go under the trail with any piping, correct?
Question, Jeff Bramer. Is there any potential plans for the land north of the trail? I know it's been annexed in, but it's not owned by the city at this point.
So the area north will remain with the Wentz. Yep, so that'll remain their property. And would be up to them to decide what to do with it.
Is there only gonna be one access in
Hold on.
this place?
What's your name, sir?
Bob Miller. Is there only gonna be one access into this place? How
To
much
start,
traffic is that gonna create if there's only one access?
so generally speaking, okay, there's only one access off of County Road 10. We are anticipating that there'll be a road, Lancaster will, eventually go to the east. But generally speaking, a wastewater plant generates very little traffic, meaning generally there's 5 employees-ish. So it's 5 people coming and going. So it's not a big traffic generator. So it's actually very minor as far as traffic goes.
Except for the building process.
Except during construction. Yep, and even that's not a lot of construction, traffic, because once they get there, their equipment tends to stay there, but yes.
So is this area in pink, the 44 acres?
Yes.
And that's all that's gonna be annexed in?
Correct.
Nope,
No, it's
nope,
gonna
nope.
be annexed in,
The whole thing's gonna be annexed in.
and that amounts to how many
This is
acres?
what- That's 70, 77.
77 acres.
So we're gonna plat, it's gonna be 44,
Okay,
and that's gonna be the sewage plant. And this is still gonna be open, and this will be normal.
okay, the whole 77 acres will be annexed in.
Right. Surgeon. Name first, please.
My name is Chuck Rowe. Just wondering how far east from Wentz West line will this property lie? Or
So it's like this line here, Bill, and that, this is all staying. How far, this is what we're looking at, sir? This area right here? Any idea of-
I'm going to give you, Ballpark, you got it there? Sorry, I'm pulling up.
I would say about almost 600 feet.
Yeah.
As you can see here from this line to about the end of this, it's about 600 feet. I can't tell you what 600 feet looks like in real life.
2 football fields.
Blocks. A city block is 300 feet, so a standard block would be about 2 blocks. And for reference, like the overhead power lines that run through there now, north to south, that it'll be kind of in that area to the east and just a little bit in that triangle to the west of the way it's currently laid out. But
Correct.
the design may change.
Correct. Yep.
What we're talking about today is just the plat.
Correct.
Jeff Bramer, I know in the past we live more up on the north side there. But I know in the past we've been able to sometimes hear the pumps at the current plant. Will that be similar or maybe you've reduced even more on the,
Ideally,
it's going to be more in high tech?
Yeah, ideally it'd be more high tech, it'll be less.
Yeah.
Yep. Generally speaking, when we build new plants, they are quieter and smell less. But in Zambroda's case, so much of in the past, it's been more DFA related than it has been really the city of Zambroda. More what they do.
All right. Any other comments or questions?
So there's still funding that's being pursued from the state, but hypothetically, it could start as soon as the fall of 26, most likely spring of 27. So we are a full 2+ years out. And there's many more steps that we as the city have to go through. Joan will be seeing a lot at the city council. So most of the remainder of this will be at city council meetings versus planning and zoning.
So tonight, we're just in charge of deciding if we're going to annex in the 77 acres. Is that our job?
Just the plat.
Just the plat.
Just to plat it.
Just to plat it.
That's what we have to decide tonight is if we're going to make the recommendation to have the plat completed. And then it goes to the city council for their approval on the plat. Did I say that correctly?
You got it perfect.
Okay. Give people enough chance to ask their questions. Anything else? So I'll close the public hearing and we can have our discussion.
Well, for the motion, of course, we can discuss it. I move that we recommend the city council to approve this project.
For discussion?
Did you second?
Yep. Is there questions on the plating need? All right. No discussion? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstains? All right. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. So we will be on the agenda next week to do the same. At the city council. So thank you, and thank you for everybody that attended tonight.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. The next order of business on our agenda is a public hearing to discuss the accessory structure amendment. Kurt, you want to give us a lowdown on that one?
Yeah, so I apologize, Mike. We're on the pages 2 and 3, and they came out weird. So 4B, they should have some red writing on page 2, or should be page 3. I think it's in the middle of the package, should be in the back.
Find the picture.
But yeah, so I would blame somebody, but it's all me. So we spoke about this last week. City staff requests that the Planning and Zoning Commission set a public hearing for July 9th, which is today, to consider amendments to the accessory structure ordinance. And you can see number 6 is what we're looking to amend or add to the ordinance. Thanks, Bill. And this is going along with many other communities, roughly our size in the area, where maximum number of accessory structures on a tax parcel counting as a principal residence. So if your lot within city limits was 0 to 0.75 acres, you're still allowed 2 detached accessory structures. And I think the statistics are roughly 90% of lots within some road are that size. If it's 0.76 to 1.24 acres, you'd be allowed an extra accessory structure. If it's 1.25 acres and up, you'd be allowed a total of 4 accessory structures. So the public hearing will be to make a motion, hope at the end to see if that's amendment you think is right.
All right. So I will open the public hearing. You're our public.
1.25 acres and your 4 acres.
All right, so no public comments. I will close the public hearing. All right.
I had a question on a couple of things. On 3A, it talks about the accessory structures not exceed 25% of the rear yard. That's no kind of conflict with this.
Well,
Is there in the rear yard, so how do you calculate the rear yard?
So the percentages would still hold true. So like, for example, if you had 3 accessory structures, they couldn't make more than the percentages that are in. Right.
I guess the rear yard is like, you debate with the rear and you count.
From like halfway side of the house or the back.
I would think or I don't know this, but I would think that the definition of a rear yard is in the ordinance, right? In your definitions. I don't know that 100%, but,
Doesn't have to do with addressing, like where your address lies.
yeah, I mean, typically your side yards and your rear yards are defined by, front yard, side yard, or rear yards are defined by your
I can see
addressing.
that being argued. I mean, does the rear yard go the full width of the house all the way back, or that side yard would go all the way back there?
Yeah,
So that becomes an issue. Somebody would have to apply for a variance.
Right.
If they put up an extra.
I guess I'm just trying to make it clear, so when we change this, so we got it clear, so we don't have so many variances.
right.
Unfortunately, on this, we're just looking at number of structures inside the yard.
Yeah.
Well, the change.
Percentages on it.
The other thing I would say, up on that front, we added in 128 square feet, on the back, we got 120 square feet. Conflict or not.
On the front,
That new addition to it, we talked about putting 128 square feet, but in the back reference, it talks about 120 square feet.
7.
I think it was 120 originally, because that was 10 by 12. On the
First
back.
page.
The first page,
Just
yeah.
flip it, yes.
But if you look at the item 7, it talks about 120, and I just didn't know if that.
4B.
kind of written up in there. Yeah.
I've got some history here.
Tom, you know for sure, because you brought that number.
I thought it sounded 20.
I've got some old stuff. Let's see if I can find it.
Right. It's really not that big a deal either way. but-
So from February of 2024, it references 128 square feet shed It's larger than that.
That's 128.
Well, how we came up with the number?
No. I don't have that on. I guess I'm just concerned that on 7, if we're talking about accessory structure 120, so if you're in that in between, which, you know.
Isn't that about the design?
Yeah. So we had 128, so we didn't really have to worry about it. And maybe it's not a big deal, I don't know.
Well, it's 128. You can put it anywhere in your yard. Right.
To the house.
And then if it's 120, if that same structure is at least 120 square feet, then what, you have to have shingled? So between 121 and 128 square feet.
If you put it next to the house, it'd have to be shingled.
Right.
That's fine.
It's a good catch, though.
I know why this was brought up in the discussion, because we had a concern about a lot with more sheds. Is that something you had that concern in, or is that changed?
I think it would,
I think it's falls short, doesn't it?
it would, yes, still have to be some.
But it gives the flexibility as the larger your lot size, you're able to have
More so.
more structures, but you still have to maintain the percentage rate of yard, of lot coverage.
But not over 4, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm. Okay. Other questions on that? All right.
Make a motion to approve it as written on the accessory building.
I guess I can second, can I? Can I second this, Chair?
I think Matt does.
I'll second. I will. Okay, Bev said she. All right, moved and second to approve accessory structure amendment of maximum number of accessory structures on a tax parcel counting as principal residence. As noted here, 2 from 0 to 0.75, 3 from 0.75 to 1.24, and 1.25 there would be for accessory structures. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries. All right. Any other old business? Any other new business? All right. Call for a motion to adjourn.
Move adjourned.
Second?
Second.
Second.
All right.